Hey guys, and welcome back to another Mario Kart 8 video, and this time we're actually gonna play as Peach as we do the Star Cup on Mirror mode. But let's play as the cart, the Duke, the monster for the wheels, and the Peach parasol for the glider. So yeah, and I think everything's about average. Translation's really good, but everything else is pretty much average. Which actually in the next episode, I actually already have the next Mario Kart 8 episode of the gameplay ready. I don't have the commentator, of course, because why would I do the commentator before this cup one? But I know I have the gameplay for the next Mario Kart 8, which actually for future in the not this episode but the next episode, I don't do that well. Plus, this is the character I have because the character I play was kind of slow. What has high speed, but I mean like its acceleration sucks and other stuff, and the handling and stuff like that is not really that good. While the speed's really good though, so yeah, and it's kind of a really good weight too, so that makes it harder. Kind of makes it slow though too. But I guess that's just how it is. Not Peach, but Peach is not a heavy character. Peach is like a medium-sized character. But yeah, just warning you for the next episode as we do the special cup in Mirror mode in the next episode of this Let's Play, which is that's pretty cool to be almost done with half of the Mirror mode. Almost half, not really. I can still have the 4 DLC after, so technically 2 episodes after this, I'll be probably like halfway, but because it's technically 12 cups instead of 8 cups, so yeah. Which, that's a lot of cups compared to the original Mario Kart games. I believe the original only had like 4 cups. Yeah, the original only had 4 cups, which is the the first 4 that they originally have at the new cups, at least in the originals. Because I know Double Dash actually has 5, because it actually has a cup known All Cup mode, which does all the tracks in one cup, which is awesome to play as. Plus, actually, that gets completely random. They don't do actually in order, just do completely random. Besides, like the first course you play and the last course you play, which is obviously Rainbow Road in Mario Kart 8, and not in Mario Kart 8, in Mario Kart Double Dash. That is mode. Mario Kart Double Dash is one of my favorite Mario Karts because it was actually it's for the Nintendo GameCube for people who haven't played video games back in that day. It's for the Nintendo GameCube or never really played Mario Kart Double Dash, and maybe there's probably some people that Mario Kart 8 was their first Mario Kart, which I don't think that many people are that one my age were the first Mario Kart. Which my first Mario Kart was actually Mario Kart 64 from the Nintendo 64. So yeah. Well, the first Mario Kart I actually owned was Double Dash. I believe so. Maybe it may have been the Game Boy Advance version, but it probably was Double Dash because I barely played the game. I still remember the Game Boy Advance one, which is Mario Kart Super Circuit, which is pretty much just a rehash of old tracks from the SNES version with the same it actually has the same type of gameplay or the gameplay as the SNES and stuff like that version. Similar like model and stuff. It's better though, but it also introduced new courses too though. But I mean like has like a bunch of older courses that were from the SNES version. It also has like new ones like Ribbon Road and everything, which is part of one of the DLC tracks. So yeah, which is pretty fun. Ribbon Road was pretty fun course on the Game Boy Advance. But of course, I love Double Dash a lot better because it's just extremely fun to just play as two characters at a time. Like one that does the items, one that actually drives, which actually makes it really fun, especially when you playing against friends and stuff like that. Of course, I think any Mario Kart game is fun playing with friends, no matter what. Even if it's like the SNES part or the Nintendo 64 version, it's just fun to play with friends. It may not be like fun with playing by yourself because of so old graphics like that, but it's still pretty fun to play with friends I guess just because how old the game is now. Because I remember like compared to like nowadays, because I bet if I was still a child, if it was like 2005 or so, I still probably would play it. Mario Kart 64. I probably may still play it though when I said because it's Mario Kart. But But you know, there's some games I just like play no matter what they are, like Pokemon. Even though the original Pokemon I probably would still play. You know, I would probably prefer playing Fire Red and Leaf Green though, which I would be interested to play through the original Pokemon games. If I would, only if I actually ever do that on my channel, playing through the original Pokemon games. I played through Fire Red, a live stream thing, which wasn't really that good, which I'm probably doing. Let's play later off Fire Red Leaf Green sometime in the future, which will be a while because I want to do other Let's Plays of Pokemon, other Pokemon Let's Plays. And that's after I do my Pokemon, you know, XD. I almost did a Coliseum, but nope, I'm doing XD. I actually never played Coliseum, so it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad because I heard Coliseum's really good and stuff. So, and XD is just a sequel to Coliseum, so yeah. Which I heard XD could have been a lot better story though. Like a lot. I mean, or I guess that kind of. Well, I mean, like a lot better story as it continues on from Coliseum instead of it like a new story or whatever. Or with a new character, I guess it still has, you know, still evil teams, same evil organization, but you know, kind of like, I guess, kind of like Black to White 2 a little bit. Where actually, it's probably kind of like, pretty much like that, but you still have like returning characters. Of course, Black to White 2 also has that too, but you know, so it's kind of like that a little bit. But because it's still at a different location in the region and stuff, and there's new locations in both Black to White 2 and XD, so Black to White 2 kind of remind me of XD a little bit of being new and everything. So yeah. Well, I heard like it was like for the game came out, there was a planning of continuing with the same using the same character that you play as in XD, but the character in Coliseum would be like one of your like enemies or whatever in the game, and it could be like and be a lot kind of darker and stuff, a little bit more dark. You know, XD is not really that dark. Well, it is kind of dark. It's not really a dark game, but like for Pokemon, it's a little dark, I guess. Not really dark, but I heard like Coliseum. I mean, XD could have been a lot darker if they decided to do that with I guess having your I guess guy from the first game be I guess the bad guy or whatever. Which he actually at first he was going to be a bad guy in Coliseum, then they changed him and got I guess got something involved in with, you know, trying to save the world from Team Cypher, I guess. So yeah, which I haven't played Coliseum, so I don't know that much about it. So yeah, which I believe, because I know you steal a snag machine from Team Snagging them at the very beginning of Coliseum. With your Espeon and Umbreon, which I like about XD, that can, you know, pick your EV evolution instead of, you know, having Umbreon and Espeon. But I guess there's still good Pokemon, Espeon and Umbreon, which I actually prefer. Umbreon's actually one of my favorite EV Pokemon, and probably one of my favorite Pokemon ever, along with Jolteon. Jolteon and Umbreon are my favorite of the EV evolutions. Umbreon and Jolteon. I don't know why. They just have, I guess, cool design, I guess, I don't know, or just fun to battle with, I guess, I don't know, just something just I really like about Umbreon and Jolteon. Which Jolteon was, you know, from the, you know, electric type from the Kanto region, from the first generation, while Umbreon was actually from the second generation, which is the dark type one. And of course, Espeon is the psychic type and stuff. And if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about Pokemon, because I know some people don't know that much about Pokemon, or what I'm talking about, because they don't know what Pokemon is. Well, they probably know what Pokemon is, they probably never played Pokemon, because I know there's people out there who never played Pokemon before, which is I guess there are some people that do that, which is kind of sad, you know, well, not really sad, but I guess not really got into Pokemon, really never played Pokemon, or I guess because there's some people that never grew up with Pokemon, while they grew up with other games, and probably they grew up with and there's people out there that didn't even go with Nintendo games. They kind of grew up with like Xbox or PlayStation though, like, because I know there's people out there that grew up with PlayStation and Xbox instead of Nintendo, or grew up with all three like me. I kind of grew up with all three. All three. While I think I kind of grew up more with Nintendo and PlayStation though than Xbox though, because the only really game I really grew up with on the Xbox was Halo. That's like the only series I grew up with on the Xbox, so it wasn't that much. So yeah, and I grew up with multiple series on Nintendo and the PlayStation. So, because I know on PlayStation I grew up with I grew up with with Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter and stuff like that. Not that much of Ratchet and Clank, but I know I grew up with a lot of Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter series and stuff like that. So and Xbox I grew only with pretty much Halo. And Nintendo I grew up with Mario of course and Sonic and Pokemon. And I had played the first Donkey Kong Country, but like as a child, I haven't played the second or third one, but I have played Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze, so which those games are pretty new. So I kind of only really grew up with Donkey Kong Country, the first one. So and I kind of grew up with Mario, Pokemon, and Sonic. Grew up with Sonic games, at least the old Sonic games, at least. Well, not like the 2D Sonic games, but like the old 3D, the first few 3D Sonic games. I do like Generation, which is still pretty new, not that old, but I know Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure 2 are part of my favorites of the Sonic 3D games. I haven't played that many Sonic games though, to be honest. But I grew up with Sunshine. I played Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario and the both Galaxies. You know, once again the Galaxy games are not that old, but still, at least Galaxy 2 isn't that old, but. I guess the first Galaxy and Sunshine I kind of grew up with. I actually never really grew up with Super Mario 64, but I grew up with all the Mario Karts, of course. Besides the original, I even grew up with the Nintendo 64, even though it probably was years after it came out that I played it. But still grew up with it. I still grew up with it because I have friends and family that owned a 64, which I really never owned a 64. Because I had a cousin that owned a 64, and I had a friend that still owns a 64 actually. I don't know. I don't think my cousin owns 64, but I know my friend, one of my best friends owns a 64, and I haven't really. I would usually when I go to the house, we don't really play the 64 though, but because I guess it's kind of old and we prefer, I guess. Oh, what? And plus I usually don't go there a lot. He usually comes to my house instead a lot. Like and usually when I go to the house, we don't. Sometimes we haven't even played that many video games recently at his house that much. Anyway, plus I barely go to his house. He mainly comes to my house and play video games and stuff because. Plus, I guess he can. Plus, I guess his parents doesn't like. I guess people come over that often or whatever. Yes, and I guess it's just how it is. I guess he just comes to my house. Well, actually, plus he actually prefers me to come to. Actually, he probably prefers to come to my house than come to his house anyway. So, which I know that. While actually, my other friend, I have another friend. He prefers me to come to his house, but I actually prefer him to come to my house. So, not the friend that prefers me to come to his house. So, but I prefer him to come to my house, but because he's a casual gamer, the guy that wants me to come to his house a lot good. I do come to his house a lot more than my other friend who comes to my house all the time, pretty much. But which I need to probably. I'm not saying their name. Actually, one of them, the one that comes to my house all the time, or a lot, not all the time, but like a lot of the time when we hang out, because he doesn't come to my house that often. Though I don't really see him that often, but when he does come. When he does play, he usually comes to my house or hang out, I guess you could say. But yeah, and he actually did some videos on my channel before though, like of just commentating with us. Like he was in my first top 10 video I did, which was the top 10 moments in video games, and he'd been in a few others, or at least I think tried to be in a few others, which didn't really work out. So I think he mainly only been, and he doesn't come that off. He only been like, I believe his last one was top 10 moments in video games. So yeah, because and actually I think he tried to start his own channel one time, but I guess he's kind of too busy with other stuff and everything. So, well, I'll just try to upload as much as I can. So yeah, and I believe that was the last course, and we got 46 points, second place. That's pretty good. That is pretty good, but let's see if we got any what's in the thing in the background. Let's see what they show us, because usually they show the best moments or the greatest or action or of the highlight. I guess it just shows some highlight or whatever. I believe that was the last card, was it? Yep, it was. And here's the highlights. And it shows actually the water one. Sweet. That water one's pretty fun, but I even have no idea what that eel thing is right there. Which I have no idea what it's supposed to be. I guess it's supposed to be a giant eel, but I don't know. But there's me as playing as Peach. You know, I'm playing as Goku, but I just like to play as different characters to mix things up a little bit in different cards. Even if I use the same card or the same wheel or the same parts before, but I usually like to try to mix it up a little bit. So yeah, second, first, fourth, and third. That's pretty good. A lot better than my next episode, which is gonna be really bad, which especially the last race. But anyway, that's I guess now that's the end of Mirror Mode on Star Cup. So I guess I gotta see you guys in the next episode as we do Special Cup, as we actually play as Dry Bowser. That's a character I'm announcing right now. So see you next time as we do Mirror Mode on Special Cup. Well, I'm out.